Hi everybody, Pat Huntoon here with Technique Junkies, and today we're making that pretty little card that you saw at the beginning of this video, showing you how to use IZINK shiny sprays in these pastel colors, which are really cool. IZINK diamonds and pearly, and just one stamp along with the stencil, the Wispy vine stencil, which is here. This is by A Colorful Life Design. So let's get started because it's really easy. The first thing we're going to do is take a paper towel, and I am going to protect my work surface. Just using a double folded paper towel just because it just keeps it nice and neat. So we're using iridescent shiny sprays. Now these are, you may remember I used to sell a spray called Shimmering Bliss, which was my own Shimmering Bliss. And Shimmering Bliss was great, but they were very deep colored. These are more pastel. I'm using 3 colors here. I'm using powder pink, which is rose poudre. I do not speak French. You have to excuse me. Ocean, which is this blue-green color, and a purple, which is mauve pastel. So what I'm going to do is spray these in 3 little areas, and like any that has mica in it, you need to mix these up. Now, I mixed these up just a few minutes ago, and they're still very well mixed. I like to mix them by rolling them between my hands because that doesn't get anything up in the nozzles. I find that these do not clog much. I haven't found them to clog much or at all, actually, since I've gotten them. Now, disclaimer, I've only used them several times, so we'll see how we go over the course of them, but none of them have been opened and clogged, which is really nice. So I'm just going to spray these in a couple of different areas here. I'm not being picky about what color I'm starting with, so I'm starting with the lavender, the mauve, going over to the pink, and leaving some room there for my ocean color. Do that one last. Now what I'm going to do is let this dry for a minute by itself. I do like to get good full coverage on there, and you notice I'm very close to the cardstock when I'm spraying. It's a technique I use to get good coverage on there. I'm just using regular 80-pound cardstock. I'm not using watercolor paper because I want distinct patterns on these, and I find I get that better with a cardstock rather than watercolor paper. I'm going to let that sit for a minute, and then after a minute or two, I am going to just go ahead and use my heat tool on that to heat it, to dry it. I like to let it set into the paper a little bit so that all those nice little splash marks and the drip marks up there have a chance to set into the paper rather than making it one big bunch of color. If you have the time to let it sit and dry naturally, go ahead and do that. I don't want to do that right now, so I'm going to go ahead and dry this with my heat tool. So that now that's fully dried. You can see it's dried, and it did warp the paper a little bit, and I'm going to show you what to do about that. I'm just going to actually flip my paper towel over, and you can see it kept all of the shine. Sometimes you can't see it with the shine, but it did keep all the drip marks and everything else nice and neat. Now, I'm going to start with a stencil. I did spray this stencil with pixie spray. If you don't have pixie spray, hold this firmly in a stamp positioner with the magnet or with washi tape around the edges and hold it nice and firm. And I'm just going to position this so that I get most of the flowers on here. Again, I did use pixie spray on this, and actually I'm going to put it on my work surface instead of the paper towel. Okay, and now I'm going to take the iodine IZINK diamond pearls, 24 karat pearls, and that 24 karat means that this is iridescent. So the darker the surfaces that you put this on, the more iridescent it will look. Iridescence just means that it has multiple colors of glitter in it, as opposed to just being white glitter. It has green glitter and yellow glitter and some red glitter in there. So I'm just going to put this on with my palette knife. Okay, so that's all the way through. So I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to lift this up so you can see. But I do not have a lot of excess product sitting on top of the stencil. That means I've used an appropriate amount of product on there. If I had a lot on the top, I'm wasting that product when I pull this off. So I'm just going to pull this off. Oh, can you see that? It's beautiful and pearly. It's not overtaking the background at all. It's just giving that pearly design in the back. So I do have to say, with these Aladdin diamonds, it is so much easier to clean than other diamonds I have used. I literally just take a paper towel, and I have in this little solution, this is Totally Awesome from the dollar store. You can use a baby wipe, but I don't like to add all those baby wipes to the environment, so I just like to use the other side of a paper towel if I have one out, or a wipe. All right, so let's see how easily that cleaned off of my surface there. Nice and easy and clean. Get rid of this. And I have a nice clean stencil. So this needs to dry, and I could do this one of two ways. I can dry this with a heat tool, or I can let it dry naturally. I am just going to dry this with a heat tool so I can finish this up and the card will be ready. When you dry this with a heat tool, what you want to do is move it back and forth across the cardstock. You don't want to hold it in one position, because if you do, you take the risk of this bubbling up. So you just want to keep moving your heat tool while you're drying it. All right, so I just want to show you, I did use a heat tool on this and it curled a little bit. The one I did previously, because I let it dry by air, it curled a lot less, just so you know. Then just take that Happy Galentine's Day and stamp it. And I've stamped it in Pucker Up from Catherine Pooler. And then I just put it on a green piece of paper, blue-green piece of paper to match the background. And I'm just going to attach that. Now, you don't have to put Galentine's Day on this. It comes in the little kit I have, but this will work with anything that you put over the top of this. A birthday card, a sparkle card, a Born to Sparkle card, anything that is appropriate for you. I'm just doing Galentine's Day because we're near that date. And then I'm going to just take and mount this onto a piece of purple cardstock and just mounting it on white. Okay, so on this one I added the Happy Galentine's Day and I matted it in purple, and it's a pretty sweet, shimmery, but not too shimmery card. It's just very subtle in the background. And on this one, I finished it with a Wishing You a Day That Sparkles, and then I decided I really liked Wishing You a Day That Sparkles with this. It's a great birthday. It makes a great birthday card, or just a thinking of you card, one or the other. But those are the two I used on this. So in the kits, you'll find both stamps in case you like them both. It doesn't change the price very much, but we can include them both. So that is our tutorial today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give me a thumbs up on YouTube if you enjoyed this tutorial, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching.